welcome to Missoula, sir.
Oh, thank you. We've really enjoyed it so far, and I finally got my family moved up here and looking forward to closing on our house this week and moving in.
Fantastic. So tell me a little bit about your coaching staff. And you brought in some familiar names that folks will recognize.
Yeah, so we retained some really great coaches from the last staff, but I had a chance to hire Mike Ferreter from Idaho State, and everyone knows about Mike, and I think he's going to bring some great things to our offense, and he will also be able to help greatly in the state of Montana in recruiting.
All right. Now, what about Andrew Sell?
Andrew Sell, just met him last week on a recruiting trip, and I did some research and talked to some people about him, and there's nobody saying any bad things about Andrew Sell, and so I called him up and asked him if he's interested, and he couldn't be happier about coming back to Montana to coach.
So what will be his function then?
He's going to help me on the offensive side and help me with quarterbacks.
All right. Now, if you could just kind of round out the staff for me, I'd appreciate it.
You know, we got Ty Gregorak is going to call the defense, and got Lengy coaching the defensive line, along with Brian Hendricks, which I brought from Colorado School of Mines. Jason Seymour is coming from Mines. He was my defensive coordinator there. He'll coach secondary and run the special teams. I brought Nolan Sweat from Mines with me. That will be the pass game coordinator. Chad Shermer from UNLV will be the run game coordinator. And then the defensive quality control will be J.B. Hall. He'll work with the cornerbacks. And then I've got Andrew with the quarterbacks and Mike with the inside receivers, and I think I've got everybody.
So that seems like a lot of coaches, and so how will they all work together? Obviously, you're going to be kind of like the CEO. So how are they all going to work together?
Well, I plan on running the offense and calling the offense on game day, and those guys will all work with me preparing the game plan, and defensively, you know, it's a perfect fit in a 4-down scheme. You need two defensive line coaches, and then Coach Gregorak will handle the linebackers, and then we'll have two guys in the back end coaching the defensive backs.
Now, you mentioned something when you were first introduced about a different kind of offensive scheme that the University of Montana really has not seen, especially the intensity with which you are planning to run it. So can you kind of give us the overall view of our offense?
Well, we're going to spread it out, but it really is going after what the defense gives you. We could have games that we throw for 500 yards. We could have games that we rush for 250, 275. It just depends on how people are going to scheme us, and we're going to do it in an up-tempo fashion. I really feel like you can keep defenses a little bit more vanilla by not allowing them to get their calls in or personnel groupings in, depending on the down and distance. And it's been very successful for us, and we're going to roll with that here at Montana.
So speed is definitely a factor, not just the speed of your receivers and running backs and defensive backs, but actually just the speed with which the game will be played.
Right, it'll be an up-tempo fashion, and we averaged right at 90 plays the last couple years, which was the last time I checked the statistics. We were the fastest team as far as amount of plays per game in the country, and I think Baylor was second.
Now, I know you can't be specific at this time regarding individual names and that sort of thing, but can you tell me about some positions you've had the chance to fill, or at least contact with regards to player personnel?
You know, we need to try to start recruiting more towards a spread offense, and we need to try to find more receivers, and that's what we're trying to go after with this recruiting class. We've made a couple adjustments. We've kind of went with the group that the former staff had committed, but we needed to make a couple changes to try to bring in a few receivers, and you know, we're going to adjust with the kids that are on our team right now, and we're going to have success with them, but we're going to recruit to what we want to be in the future.
How about quarterbacks? I know that we have a pretty good stable of quarterbacks now that Jordan is gone, and of course they're all young, and very few of them have a lot of game experience. So, is that something you've had a chance to address yet?
Not yet. I've talked to all of them, and they're all excited about coming into spring and running this offense, and we're just going to see who can handle the type of things that we want them to handle as far as throwing the ball, being able to extend a play with their legs. But the biggest part of being quarterback in this system is being able to process information very quickly.
So basically, you need a quarterback with a good head on his shoulders.
Right, and that's the most important part of this, because when you're going fast, he's got to be able to process the information of, hey, here's the play that Coach gave me, here's the options that I can do off of it, now what's the defense, how are they lining up, and here's where we're going with it.
All right. Now, we've got a big row to hoe in the fact that the North Dakota State Bison have just won their 4th consecutive FCF championship, which has never happened before in the history of college football, at least our side of the college football. So how are you? Have you had a chance to look at them yet? Did you see the championship game?
We were en route from Colorado with the family, and we stopped in Bozeman because we were going to buy a dog just outside of Bozeman, and I actually had a Grizz sweatshirt on, so I was getting a lot of flack in Bozeman with the sweatshirt on. But we got to watch a few plays of it, and I think it's exciting. I think it's great to bring the 4-time national champion into Missoula, and we're going to see where we're at very quickly.
So what do you think of our facilities?
I think they're fantastic. It's exciting to think about the game day environment up there in Washington Grizzly Stadium, and it's going to be an unbelievable experience for me and my coaching staff.